Hello everybody, Jack here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be installing new top mounts onto the suspension on the Mini, and we're also going to be fitting adjustable drop links. Stay tuned to see why you want to do that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with any new videos that I post. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the top mounts have been the cause of a lot of suspension related noise for quite a while now. I've been putting them off, changing them, mainly because I've done it before and it was a bit of a pain. That was when I knew nothing about cars. I like to think I know a bit more now, so we're going to give it a go again. I've had the top mounts off before and they seemed okay when I had them off, when I put the coilovers on, which you can watch in this video up here. But yeah, when I took it for its MOT the other week, which it didn't fail but also didn't pass, you can see what I mean up here. The tester said on the very short drive from the front to the back of the MOT station that the top mounts could do with being changed because they're clunking. So as I said, that's what we're doing today. So as I said before, we're also going to be fitting adjustable drop links today. Now the reason I'm putting these on, the car's obviously on coilovers, which you can watch up here, and ever since I put them on I've never fitted shortened drop links. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So as far as I can tell, I'm no mechanic obviously, but drop links kind of stabilise and keep your wheels in line height wise on the road with the anti-roll bar. So they connect to the anti-roll bar and to the strut. Now I'm using the stock ones, which are obviously meant for stock height cars, and mine's lowered considerably. So in theory you should change your drop links to cater for the height drop. Now it's never really bothered me enough to do it, but now I'm sort of trying to get the Mini sorted, and I've got a feeling that the drop links are causing some of the clunking issues that I can hear up front. So we're going to change them. The new drop links were £30 a set. Obviously got two sets, front and back, and yeah, they seem easy enough to put on. I helped Owen put them on his Fiesta before, so I know that they're relatively easy to do. It's just a bit of measuring and messing about, but once you've got the height right and you know which bar to use, it's pretty simple. So that's what adjustable drop links are and why you need them. Let's go and get them installed. Okay, so you'll have to excuse any wind noise. I've got a dead cat on the microphone, but it's blowing an absolute hoolie. We're going to do the top mount now. So I've got the car jacked up and on a jack stand. I'm going to take the wheel off and then I'll show you what's next. So wheels off. Next thing to do is to take the pinch bolt here out, disconnect the old drop link from the strut, take the hub off the strut by lowering it down, remove the track rod end from the hub, and then obviously remove all the lines from the strut here just by pulling them off. Then once the strut is dangling free, we'll be able to undo the 3 nuts on the top to release it, but I'll show you that before we get to it. First we're going to free the hub from the strut. So a few little tips. I've turned the steering to the right. I'm working on the left side, so I've turned it all the way to the right. It just gives me a lot more access to this area here. I've taken the track rod end nut off and I've flipped it 180 degrees and wound it back on till it's flush, because what I'm going to do now is hammer this here to drop the track rod off from the hub. Okay, so hitting the track rod came out after 2 or 3 blows with the hammer, which was nice. The track rod is still in good condition. The boot seems to be in good condition too. Didn't replace them too long ago, but if you check the video over here you can watch me replace them. I've taken the strut pinch bolt out. That was easy enough, just comes straight out with a 19mm socket on a gun. So next we're going to disconnect the drop link and then remove the hub. So these drop links have a flat side on the back here, so what you do is you put a 17mm spanner behind there and whiz the nut off with a gun, and that comes out. I'm just going to knock that out of there. Just like that. Now the other one is actually stuck on here. It's just spinning and I can't grip it on the back, so I'm just going to cut this off with an angle grinder because we're replacing them anyway. Next up, just need to remove the hub off the strut. So if you push down and get some help from a hammer and push, it will come out. Now you are going to want to support the hub because it's quite heavy. I usually do this with a jack stand or some cable ties, so I'm going to sort that now. Okay, now it's time to smash these 3 bolts out. 13mm. and as you can see, the strut has dropped. So we're just going to pull that up and out. And there we have it. So I've got the strut out and on top of the workbench, aka wheelie bin, as long-time viewers of the channel will know. Workbenches are overrated. I've got to cut the drop link off of the strut, and to do that I'm going to be using the angle grinder. Okay, so drop link has been cut off of the strut, as you can see. Have actually just nicked it a little bit with the angle grinder, but it's no real issue. So what we're going to do now is take the 22mm nut out the end of here. That's going to pop off. You will want to put spring compressors on it if you're not using coilovers, but I know there's not too much tension on these because they're lowered. I'm going to take this nut off and put the new top mount on. Just quickly, it's a 22mm socket, not a 21mm. And there we have it, there's the old top mount. If you listen, you can hear the bearing. Not sure how well that'll play with the wind and whatever, but yeah, really gritty and horrible. So that could be the cause of the issue. And here is the nice shiny new top mount. You obviously can't hear the bearing or anything. So I'm going to put this little top hat thing back on and put the top mount on. So I just pushed the base of the strut against the floor and then just push down on the top hat just so I can get the nut on a couple of threads. Now I'm going to hold it still and tighten it all up. Okay, so I've taken the new nuts off the top of the top mounts on these three posts here, and here is a forwards arrow, so we're going to make sure that is facing the front. So we're going to lift that up to the car now. There we have it, so now I'm just going to put the nuts on. These three nuts are nice and secure now, so I'm going to put the strut back into the hub. Once the strut is all the way into the hub, put that pinch bolt back in and tighten her up. Now reconnect all your lines, brake line and ABS sensor. I'm going to reconnect my track rod. And that's all there is to changing your top mounts. So let's get the drop links sorted. Okay, so I'm going to try and show you best as I can what I'm doing. So I've got one under the drop link in the strut. Just going to put the nut on that. And the other end's got to go onto there. So the drop link's in on the anti-roll bar and on the shock. So I'm going to tighten these bolts up. Then we're going to check the tension on the drop link and then tighten up the locking nuts. So we do have both sides jacked up. I have checked the height and they're the same on both. Everything seems to be sitting level and everything seems to look the same on both sides. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to put the wheels back on and see what it's like. Okay, so the car's back on the floor. Everything's tight. Just need to torque up the wheels. But yeah, just going to take it for a little spin as far as I can. And yeah, just see what it feels like. See if the noise is gone, hopefully, and yeah, see if there's any issues. So it's the next day now, and basically what happened yesterday was obviously I changed the top mounts and the drop links. I took the car for a little drive in the car park and the sound was no different. Now I've just done the same thing again and the sound is still no different. I thought maybe, you know, everything needs to settle down. I've been working on it. Everything needs to settle down, so I left it overnight. And I just took it for a little drive around the car park and it's still exactly the same, which means unfortunately that these parts have not fixed the issue. Now while this is annoying and you could look at it as potentially a waste of money, those are brand new parts now, so the chance of them giving me a headache anytime soon are slim to none. I've got a few other things that I want to try to silence the coilovers. I've seen a few people talking about greasing up the top hat where it contacts the spring and that fixing like a clunking noise, so I'm going to have a look at that potentially just off camera and try and see if that can resolve anything. But I'm confident that the top mount is obviously okay now and it's just potentially some sort of friction between the top hat and the spring. So my plan is to get it in for its MOT hopefully this week and just hope it passes, and if it doesn't, fix the things it fails on and go from there. I'll fix the things that the MOT tester mentioned in the short period of time last time. So it's had 2 new back tyres, fixed the coolant issue with the new tank, and the top mounts, which he also said might be an issue. I've replaced those, so hopefully they won't give us any grief during the MOT. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you could hit the like button, I really appreciate it. It really does help. Thank you for your continued support, and I'll see you in the next one.